The Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Cheers. It's Miller time.
Big question leading into this fight. Bubba Jenkins, the wrestler, would he take Goichi Yamauchi down, or would he sprawl and brawl? Who's made the advances in their kickboxing? That's the question.
That is not a guard you want to end up in. We saw Yamauchi last at Mohegan Sun last October against the king of Pancrase, Isao Kobayashi, and it was a dominant performance. One of the most impressive ones we saw in 2015.
Very true. And after a considerable layoff, I didn't see much ring rust at all.
It was almost the opposite. It was almost as if he got better in that time. It was like that little career restart, like hit the reset button.
Look at the flexibility of Bubba Jenkins. You're going to take down 9 out of 10 guys with this.
Download the free Spike app with full episodes of your favorite shows anywhere, anytime for free. Now available on the App Store and Google Play.
And this is the kind of thing Goichi Yamauchi does, leaping for the back. Man, and he's got it, both hooks in. It's like a combination of Japanese and Brazilian style submission. He goes for it, but with great technique, great pressure.
Bubba Jenkins was very clear in scouting Goichi Yamauchi. This is the best fighter I have ever fought. Remember, he's been there with Georgie Karahanya, that memorable submission that Georgie had to tell the referee that Bubba Jenkins was out.
Yep.
Perfect example to me, that loss to Georgie Karahanya, of losses being a good thing in MMA.
Man, he's in a tough spot early on in the fight. Not a lot of sweat. Hard to get a guy like this off your back, man. With those long legs, it's a nightmare.
I love it when Jonathan Snowden checks in. This is a fight. Listen, Jimmy, you and I, our Twitter timelines were full of conversations about Kimbo Slice and Donna 5000. Right. This is a fight you and I have been waiting for a long time.
This is what we want the Twitter talk to be about.
You can, and listen, that's what a full-service restaurant is all about.
Yeah. With Goichi going for that rear naked. He's going for just a power version. It's not under the chin. He can still crank his way to victory. He doesn't do it.
You talk about experienced guys, and Goichi is 23. He knew he didn't have it, and he let it go. He didn't waste energy.
Jiu-jitsu, this guy very experienced. And Bubba, strong neck. Not going to just crank that guy. Been wrestling his whole life. Once again, it's up high. Crank position. What Bubba's yet to do is find a way out of this position. He's defended the submissions, but until he can get Goichi off his back. This is very fatiguing for Bubba Jenkins. He's holding up his weight. He's holding up Goichi's weight. It's fatiguing for Goichi because he has to keep stress on his leg, keep his hips activated the whole time. But he's used to this kind of fight. Bubba's carrying a lot of weight right now.
But on the old standard of who would you rather beat, pretty easy call.
Goichi all day in this position.
He might stay in it all day.
Yeah. Triangle body locked, hard to break.
What do you do when you're Bubba Jenkins and you're in a spot you've never been in before? That's what made this matchup so fascinating, is the contrast in styles, not just the stakes, and they are high right now, very high at 145.
Strategically, if I'm his corner right now, 53 seconds left, this just wasn't your round. Make sure there's a round two. Goichi locking it up over the chin. Just cranking. Can constrict the breathing, but it's usually more of a crank than that. But
Goichi looks like he's a half step away from taking a nap. He looks so comfortable.
He gets his arm under the neck. It's Bubba Jenkins going to be taking a nap. Done a good job in defending so far, though. But frustrating round for Bubba Jenkins. Not able to get his game going at all.
We will have some news a little bit later on tonight about another top contender, the former featherweight world champion Patricio Pitbull, when we'll see him next on Spike. Goichi Yamauchi controls position in round number one. Bubba Jenkins with a quick welcome. In the Kobayashi fight, Yamauchi, when we close our eyes and think of that fight, we think of what he did on the ground, but he was very good on his feet.
Dropped him on the feet as well. You know, it's like he presents similar problems on the ground as on the feet. He's rangy, he's quick, hard to time him, hard to figure him out. And that's what we were all wondering about.
Would he try it? Dive right into the guard. Goichi's perfectly happy right here. Do you use your wrestling, your world-class wrestling, offensively or just defensively?
Well, he didn't think the stand-up was going his way. That's the good news, is if you're Goichi Yamauchi as well, I must have been doing well in the stand-up, but don't want to get too comfortable in guard.
Bubba Jenkins started at Penn State. And in the national tournament, when he was at Penn State, he ran into a young wrestler from NC State named Darian Caldwell, who will fight Joe Warren tonight in the main event. And we're going to see Fernando Gonzalez and Gilbert Smith. That could be a critical fight in the welterweight division, which has taken so many twists and turns over the last few months with the arrival of Benson Henderson.
And for the Kimura, trying to lock up the left arm of Bubba Jenkins. Look at the way he's activating his hips, walking over the head. Bubba's got to put a lot of weight on that left side. What this does, too, I mean, not only are you in a submission, it also stifles the offense of Bubba Jenkins. He has to worry about getting submitted.
Jenkins took him down, but Goichi's body language was, come into my web, so the spider to the fly.
Look at that flexibility, those legs all the way around him. Tenacious with that Kimura, not letting it go.
15 of Goichi's 19 victories by submission, including the first ever submission win put on Isao Kobayashi last October.
But right now, playing all defense, trying to get some short shots with the right hand, with the right elbow. Nothing of substance yet. Now he's out. Nice left hand. So he's controlling the right arm of Yamauchi. Good position, that seatbelt hold. Goichi able to get it back.
Goichi in a tough spot against the fence here.
Yep. That's a close camera.
Very good look at it. We referenced Kimbo and Dada earlier. And the controversial finish between Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock. If you missed it, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, free on Spike. Watch it again, judge for yourself, also including some never-before-seen footage. And the Derek Campos Melvin Gillard fight, in which our little twosome here, Jimmy, became a threesome.
Oh, Mike Tyson, I miss him.
When's he coming back, by the way?
I don't know if Hart can handle a whole lot of that, but it was fun while it lasted. Isolate the right arm now. Switching attacks going to the other side. And triangle danger. A lot of attacks from here, but look at the arm being trapped. Man, good ground and pound by Bubba Jenkins. He's
With one arm.
That's what I mean about being a little too comfortable in the guard. All you're thinking about is the submission game, but Bubba Jenkins doing some damage down here.
Went over the top right, and he lost round one, and he knew it.
Yep.
And he made the decision that even down here, as dangerous as Goichi's guard is, I can still win around him.
And I think he is so far.
Yeah, I do too.
Short stuff, and this is where Bubba Jenkins' body works for him. A little stockier, a little shorter, ground and pound is easier, doesn't need a lot of space. Short elbows, short punches, he can do damage.
Very hard for Goichi. How do you simulate a national champion wrestler?
The Golden States, they're a very good gym.
You got 15 seconds. I want you to cut him open here in these 15 seconds. Heavy hit. Keep it down. Stay tight. All right.
Bubba Jenkins turns the table in round number 2. Comfortable diving into the guard of Goichi Yamauchi, and we're going to round 3. A lot separating Goichi Yamauchi and Bubba Jenkins. And through 2 rounds, that's how you see it, right?
Have it all tied up. Bubba Jenkins, going back to that corner, must think, okay, that's how I'm going to win. Takedown and ground and pound. A little surprised he's starting out kickboxing. He looks loose, he looks confident.
Yeah, trying to set that up.
Setting up the takedown. Look at the power on that double leg. Not many guys in the world can stop that. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I know you mentioned his match against Darrion Caldwell in the NCAAs. It's on YouTube. If you're a wrestling fan, that's a fantastic match.
Yeah, you and I both tweeted that out this week. Just find it on our timelines if you're not on YouTube. You can see the cut, obviously, Goichi. It's over the left eye. Is that spot okay?
It's just not an open bleeder yet. It looks more like a scuff mark or a slight abrasion than a serious cut. Should be fine. See the pressure Bubba Jenkins is trying to put on Goichi Yamauchi. It's one thing when you grapple with guys like Bubba Jenkins, they put so much physical pressure on you. Wrestlers like that have been doing it their whole lives. Best way to put it is wrestlers work submission defense their whole lives. They just don't know it until they start MMA. Elbows in, head up, good posture, strong with the hips. I mean, that's all submission defense stuff. They do it their whole lives.
Get your head from out of here. We don't want to be here.
Now, what's in Goichi's head after round 2? He can't stay here now.
Yeah. I think he, you know, I would go from a submission game to more of a push-off, get space, scrambling kind of game. Hope that Bubba Jenkins makes a mistake coming up.
Heavy hand, just drop your hip. Drop your hip.
Catch him in transition. That's what you're hoping for. Straight on guard game. So far, Bubba Jenkins looking good.
2.5 minutes left.
Going for the sweep. That's what I mean. These scramble positions. You can't let this become a straight on guard position. Bubba Jenkins knows how to defend this. Trying to angle. Isolate the right arm of Bubba Jenkins.
Goichi Yamauchi has won 14 of 15. He's been beaten just once in the last 4.5
Go
years.
for the armbar.
Don't you relax here.
Pull his shoulder out. Put his right shoulder up and his left shoulder down. Shrug that shoulder out. Goichi's going to go hard for it. This is desperation time.
Okay, you got 2 minutes left.
No panic so far yet by Bubba Jenkins. I don't think you want to do that. You want to start punching. Take the pressure off. Because it takes pressure off your arm. You got to keep your arms together. You got to worry about defense before you worry about offense. Goichi, though, a little fatigued. He's having trouble straightening out the arm. Now he's going for it.
National champion wrestler, body position, leverage.
I'm Goichi Yamauchi. Unlock my legs and lock the left leg around the back of the head there and try and crank. Now he's going to the sweep. Doesn't get it. Man, that was close. Gotta wonder if you're Goichi, man. I came that close and I didn't get it.
How are judges looking at that?
I mean, it's definitely points for Yamauchi, trying to finish the fight. Effective grappling that doesn't counter all the ground and pound he's eaten throughout this round. I don't think so yet. Because you could argue the takedown, the control here of Bubba Jenkins is effective grappling as well.
Goichi going rubber guard.
Attempts to finish the fight count as more, but that was one. Bubba Jenkins has been landing ground and pound throughout the round. That's the balancing act. Oh, nice stuff. See that arm underneath the leg of Bubba Jenkins? That's how you sweep, but you can get that arm trapped and you can't defend punches on his right side, on Yamauchi's right. I'm sorry, Goichi Yamauchi's right side. Because your arm's trapped under the leg. It's kind of an all or nothing position.
And Bubba Jenkins really stayed calm and cool during this whole thing. And he's trying to finish strong, trying to take it any indecision about round 3 away from the judges. And he thunderous finish by Bubba Jenkins. Spice Rubbery played the bold 93 proof rum as edgy to the core. Goichi had a couple chances to go for it early and late.
Yeah, big trouble early on in the fight, and then in round number 2, Bubba Jenkins getting his takedown going, his ground and pound, very effective. Round number 3, man, these arm bars very close. Couldn't finish. Last one, little slam to end the round, but it was ground and pound.
After 3 complete rounds, we'll go to your 3 Kingside judges. Your first judge, Jacob Montalvo, scores the fight 29-28. David Sutherland sees it 30-27. And Dan Mattison scores it 29-27. All see it for the winner by unanimous decision. Bubba, the Highlight Kid Jenkins.